Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Elihu. I know I've been absent for a little while, but I was posed a question that I think is quite interesting. Brother asked me, what do I think? He said, I know your beliefs on Farrakhan, because I've made videos and have written, several opinionated, little essays or whatever on Farrakhan. So he said, but what do you think about this Million Man March Part 2 thing? Well, I basically think this, okay? I think that it's Farrakhan's attempt to clean up his image. I think that it's Farrakhan's partnership with the government and the Jews and all other privately individuals who secretly fund Farrakhan, okay? Because I told y'all brothers before that it's no need to control 20 million niggers if you can control the nigger that has influence over the 20 million niggers, okay? This is his attempt also to introduce himself to the young people, because young people right now don't know Farrakhan, don't give a fuck about Farrakhan, nor any of this old regime of so-called black leadership that are now, obsolete. But they was obsolete from, day one. They usually start off strong. You know what I mean? Like how when I was banging out my videos and shit, like goddamn mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? They start off strong. They start off with integrity. They start off with a genuine love and dedication to the grave, okay, to fight for what they believe in the beginning. And once influence is gained, because they gauge these things like I told y'all guys before, and one of the things that they gauge it on is influence, okay? And that level of influence and whether or not they can control the influence, all right? Those two things in particular, all right? The person's influence and their ability to control that individual's influence, all right? If I, with my rhetoric, okay, and beliefs, if I can have influence, let's say, over, now I'm just throwing a number at you. This number isn't written in stone or nothing, or I don't have no foreknowledge that, there is a particular number. But let's say I have influence over 500,000 people, okay? 500,000 people subscribe to Elihu's beliefs, philosophy, and opinions on relationships between blacks and whites, relationship between blacks internationally, as far as like developing a so-called agenda and outlook on how we should see, think, and behave, all right? Let's say that 500,000 people subscribe to this thought, all right? That would get their attention. But then let's say if Elihu's influence is to the level of me saying, let's fight. And those 500,000, or let's say that 2/3 of the 500,000 will literally arm themselves and begin to engage the enemy, right? That will get me, okay, that will get, if my influence is at that level, that will get me approached. Not necessarily killed yet. I will get approached, and then I will have what I consider a call, or what Steve Coakley used the term, a sit down. I will be invited to a sit down. Now at this sit down, I will then be gauged on whether or not I can be controlled, and by what means can I be controlled. Is it power? Is it women? Is it money? You know what I'm saying? Is it fame? All right? And all of these things will be laid out on the table until they can pinpoint, which cards it would take for them to control me. All right? The greatest brothers and sisters example of this, I told you before, is in the Bible. After Yeshua had fasted for 40 days, he then at a weak point. All right? But he's not weak spiritually. After fasting 40 days, you're spiritually potent. Okay? But when he's physically weak, because see, the devil only works on the lower desires, okay? On base consciousness. That's what he works off of. I told you, money, fame, power, this is all base level consciousness. These are all bullshit. He cannot approach you with spiritual blessings or spiritual wealth because he doesn't operate within that realm. That's not his thing, okay? So, after Yeshua had fasted for 40 days, he is then tempted. He's invited to a sit down, sort of say, right? And then the first thing he says to him is, well, if you're so hungry, nigga, change them rocks into bread. Because he know that Yeshua is a top level magi, top level priest. Some called him a sorcerer. Some even say that that's one of the criteria under which he was crucified and charged with, being a sorcerer. All right. There were several so-called high-level priests, magi, sorcerers in the Bible. Okay. Melchizedek, Moses, Enoch. Okay. These were serious brothers. All right. Who had been through the mystery system schools and who had mastered the self. All right. So Yeshua tells him, right? Man ought not live off of bread alone, but from every word that comes from the mouth of God. So he's giving him an analogy of feeding the spirit. He's telling Satan at that point, nigga, I'm not on your level. I'm high, far above you. I'm up here in the stratosphere, motherfucker, and you crawling on your belly. Okay? Second temptation or offer that's made at the sit down. Now, they're not literally sitting down. In fact, Satan transforms him. He takes Yeshua and then teleports him to another place. In fact, as the Bible say, to the highest altitude within the region. They were standing on the top of like a cliff. All right. Remember, the Jordanian Judea region don't have tall, huge mountains. There's no huge mountain structures within that little area region that I'm aware of. I may be wrong. And then at that altitude or at that cliff, the second offer made to him is, cast yourself off the edge of this cliff. For ain't it said that, God no, he says, cast him off the edge of this cliff. Because ain't it said that God will send his angels to then come and bear you up? And Yeshua tells him, it is not right to tempt the Lord thy God. All right. Third offer. And this is where he pulls out the cards that most niggas succumb to. He offers them money, power, respect, fame. Okay? He says, take a look around. All that you see, I control. He say, all of this can be yours and all the wealth if you just get on your knees and pay me some respect. And that's when Yeshua basically tells him, the fuck out my face, you cracker. Okay? But he says, get ye behind me, Satan. All right? But I can imagine the anger in his voice. Okay? And the seriousness that even after fasting 40 days, that I'm sure the adrenaline rushed within Yahshua. And at that point, he was ready to rip this joker's head off his shoulders. You know what I mean? You know, in other words, Yahshua was telling him, jive ass punk, you know who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? You know my work. You better step the fuck off, straight up. Before I turn you, before I throw your ass off this cliff. You dig? So this is just Farrakhan's, man, reattempt to clean up his image, because he lost at least a third of his membership with the Scientology thing. You know, division was created at the highest level within the Nation of Islam, where some of its highest ministers throughout the country stepped the fuck off and did their own thing. See, these type of things is what cause splits within organizations, okay? And and Farrakhan moved to Scientology, I believe, came through money problems, mismanagement of money. He's a great speaker. You know what I mean? He has the potential to be a great leader. You know what I'm saying? But out of all of these years, since he took control of the nation somewhere around 1977, I think, when Warufuddin Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's son, relinquished power over the nation to Farrakhan. Farrakhan has never operated as a leader. He gave us great speeches. He's like Barack Obama. He's a great talker. You understand what I'm saying? But not once have he issued orders, you know what I'm saying, to seek recompense for whatever was done to us, you know, for us to do it back. Because it's that type of practice in which respect is gained. You know, mutual respect. Until you punch a nigga in his face that punched you in your face, till you hit his ass back, there is no eye to eye, okay? He's still up here and your ass is down here. You understand that shit? Because he is inflicting his will upon you, and you don't have the courage, the heart to you know what I'm saying? To equate punishment. You understand that shit? And then you have to also understand the psychology of the individual that you're dealing with. You're dealing with sociopaths. You understand what I'm saying? So the infliction of pain and suffering is how they get their rocks off. All right? I'm going to keep this one short. This is Brother Elihu Ill. I love you, brothers and sisters, always and forever, okay? Peace.